Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everybody for your patience, and we're going live at 9:59 p.m. You know, it's funny because I'm so used to saying, "Hey guys, we're going live at 9:30," even though I changed the show time to 10 p.m. But that's okay because we have an esteemed guest this evening. We have your boy Dark with DLD After Dark, sipping on a delicious Red Bull lager, a malt Red Bull. It's just Red Bull. That's all that it is. I just make it look fancy, so it looks like I'm just drinking with the boys. Um, I am not. I'm not. Sadly, I'm just drinking stuff to keep me awake, which sounds sad. It sounds sad. Anyway, we want to go ahead and welcome all you beautiful people. And also, we want to give a little bit of credit to the first person that crept in here. And when I scrolled all the way to the top, I was just thrilled to see that your boy, Dremel Go Burr, was number one. And of course, he greeted us by saying, bitches. So, Dremel Go Burr, congratulations, my friend. You, sir, have earned one crisp high five. And I'm wondering when you're going to be first again, though. It's, just something I don't see too often, Some other guy, Opie, used to be first every now and then, but hey, I'll accept you. So let's go ahead and get it started. Let's say hello to all the channel members. We got Heath. What's up, brother? Channel member, welcome, welcome. Kurt24, channel member, thank you for joining us. Ron Wayne, channel member, what's up, brother? Good to see you. And I've heard, Ron Wayne, that you've started a channel and that you've started putting out videos and content and people are watching it. That's crazy. Good for you. I may check you out. Everybody, check out Ron Wayne's channel. He's one of us guys. He's one of us guys. Mike McClune, channel member. What's up, brother? Thank you for joining us. Good to see you. Who else we got here? We got Jeremy H, channel member. Thank you for joining us, my brother. Good to see you. And we have, drum roll please. Oh, you can already see it. One Love Design, channel member. What's up, brother? Thank you for coming. Happy that you're here. This is me an hour ago saying we're going live at 9:30. Sorry about that. My bad, y'all. I do, in my real life, like I generally take being on time very seriously. So I apologize. Please excuse my tardiness. All right, who else we got here? We got Kurt24, which, by the way, shout out to Kurt24, who just recently... FDSS, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Toy Town Inc., what's going on? Man, all these great people, where y'all been at? Man Against the Memes. Man Against the Memes. That should be your name, bro. Just saying. So shout out to Kurt24, who actually won as a channel member. He actually won. Didn't he win a couple of different things? He won the Find a Glowy. Yeah, he won the Find a Glowy Glock 21 frame. Congratulations. And there is nothing better than winning a P80, winning a Glock frame right before the ATF cutoff. So, hell yeah, good for you. Too Many Choices says, my AK pistol arrived today. That's what's up, man. Heath, channel member, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you. All right, who else we got? Look at him making inquiries. A Flying Rich, what slide did you use on your 10mm build? There's a few things you could check out. Hit me up. If you could, as the kids say it, slide in my DMs, and I'll give you a helping hand. Rusty Shackelford, channel member, welcome. Looking mighty familiar. Mighty familiar. Same picture and all that. I wonder who it is. T for Tejas, what's up, brother? Channel member, thank you for joining us. CMT Designs, channel member, channel member. Man, all you awesome people, thank you so much, man. Safe Line Live, what's up, brother? Channel member, channel member. Who else we got here? Come on, PLA. Come on, PLA. Remember. Hey, and you know what? I'm gonna. I'll wait. I'm gonna show you something in a minute that I have to attribute almost exclusively to Come on, PLA and UAV Hero, but not to cut short people like P80 Ralph, IPS, like all these other people that were still pushing me to get my printer back up and running. Well, guess what? I got it back up and running. I got another. Oh shit! I got another frame printed, and this shit actually turned out okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll show y'all. It looks pretty good, man. And I went with the Duramic Black, and might I say that this bitch is fine. DLD After Dark, your 10 minutes were up 10 minutes ago. Thank you. I think I got everybody. If I miss somebody, I will make sure that I come back to you. ADXR920, of course I missed somebody. Good to see you. And I don't want to miss any channel members, man. Y'all are the shite. Of course, my chat just started over. It just refreshed. So probably missed somebody. If I did, man, shout out Chinamamba in the chat, and I'll make sure to get you guys. So now, of course, we gotta say the John Crump Live, Chinamamba, what's up, brother? Good to see you. And I'm sorry, my chat skipped forward, and I missed so many people. So it's one of those days. Just one of those days. Okay, so some honorable mentions. We have Senior Bub. We have 2A, Timothy Harper. Ishnifis, we've got Ishnifis, DB Cooper. Oh wow, look at that. My own notification came to me. That's dope. Key ASE, where you been at, bro? Good to see you. Man Against the Memes, what up? We got Senor Bub. We got Richard Monda, a friend from across the pond, and it's probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning over there. JC9, what's up, brother? Sub Dark. Wood Chippers and Millstones. Pure blood, end of quote. You definitely did that using voice text. I'm just going to say, Sabar Prince, what's up, brother? Live life. We got Craig Looker, Child Sniffer. We got P38 Gilberto. We got Marconi Armory. What up? Good to see you. Good evening, gents. I hope you're feeling better. I hope the coof has left your body. We got the best flashlights in the world, Goonbeam. I've been using mine all day, and this thing is great. I know, it's crazy. Go to Goonbeam, use my affiliate link, support the channel. That would be dope. But still, use a Goonbeam, right? If you're not using a Goonbeam, what are you doing? That's coming from a Streamlight guy, okay? From a Streamlight guy. And there are applications for all my Streamlights. But you know what? There are applications for all my Goonbeams. Just saying. All right, we got Misty, Miss Wayne. Hope you are recovering and doing well. Great to see you. We got Dribble Go Bird. We got Too Many Choices. Clint Eastwood, come on, PLA. So I'll show you guys. I may have made something beautiful. What do you think? Huh? Made the MAV9 in black, because last time I made the MAV9 in red. Now I made the MAV9 in black, and man, that just came out clean, bro. It's clean, bro. And I mean, it's really tough. It's really tough. So I'm just grateful that it went through pretty successfully. There were some issues I had to save it a few times, but you know what? We did it. That's all that matters. So, Flying Rich, what's up, brother? Good to see you. I gave him the night off. And so, alas, I have our esteemed guest who's been sitting backstage for not only the 12 minutes and 11 seconds that I've been here with you guys, but he also has actually been backstage since I started this shit like at 8:45. So we want to go ahead and welcome a very special guest, which you guys will likely, you probably have seen him on Instagram. You've probably seen him all over the Twitter sphere, internet sphere. And you may know of him for some 22 stuff. So let's welcome Haywood Yabuzzoff.
Hey, how's it going?
Dude, welcome. Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for everybody showing up too.
Yeah, man, we already got 46 people in here just waiting to talk with you. Is that Duramic on your printer? The filament?
Oh no, I got Polymaker and the coax that's supposed to be bad, and oh
Ooh,
shoot, what else?
man.
What else? Yeah, there's the coax that's supposed to be bad, and then
Nice.
there's FiberX, bunch of other
Well, I see.
stuff.
So you're saying it's supposed to be bad. Well, you know what?
Well, I
We'll give you
heard from people, but
okay.
it works for me.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. You hear so much lore, so much
Oh yeah.
you know. But before we jump into it, let's take a minute to let people know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. Hey, would you buzz off? Also on YouTube. Just try to put stuff out there to keep the signal going a little bit. I am just a tinker. I'm not like trained. I'm not a dude that knows like everything. I know only what I've messed up.
Yeah.
Luckily, I mess up a lot, and so I end up learning a lot and working on some things that I thought were easy. Taught me a lot. Working on some things that I thought were hard taught me a lot, and I've just kind of enjoyed the community and everybody helping out, coming out with ideas. There's so many people that, uh, are awesome. Savar right there, dude, like has pointed me so many good directions for people.
He's
Urban
awesome.
Poison, Danny Meatball, like everybody, man, will just help you out in this whole
Dude, Danny
thing.
Meatball is
And
so
it's
great.
awesome. Yeah.
He's a great dude. And you know what? Honestly, most people in this community are so helpful. They're so kind, and they, I'm grateful to kind of be a part of this community because I'm kind of in it, but I'm not like really deep into printing like you guys are, man. You've accomplished some like straight whack job, crazy level shit, and I am blown away by it. Like if somebody told me like, hey, we're gonna be 3D printing bolts, barrels, receivers, and like that, it's crazy. Like, what would you say you're probably like most well known for?
Probably the some of the stuff trying to help people print things when they, when their printer was down. I know you said, "Hey, my printer was down." Like,
Yeah.
I'm always working on my printer. So like people like Durbin and stuff, when he's like, "Hey, man, I'm working on this design, but my printer's down. Like, what do I do?" So I'm like, "Well, I printed that one up for him, and then I printed
Nice.
this one up for him, and I shoot him in the backyard.
Which should
Oh, I
I?
can't hold the rest of that other one up. Um,
That's all right. It's you know what I. Oh, nice. That's right. I did see that.
that
That's
deal,
impressive.
little
So here's the
space
interesting
cat
thing
style.
is so we're technically not supposed to hold any like firearms up on stream, right? But I was told that over the next year or so, we're going to see a huge push for YouTube to be more firearm friendly, right? And I kind of start looking around YouTube and I start seeing dudes like I watched a live stream and the guy was cleaning his AR while on a live stream. And it took me a few minutes. I was like, oh, that's cool. 7.62 by 39 AR. I was like, hold on. He's handling a gun, right? And then I watched a donut operator video and he's like, oh, yeah, guys, this is my Glock. It's a Zev OZ9. I'm like, what? What's going on? See a few other people do it. By then, it was like 24 people that were handling firearms in a live stream. So I call somebody who's like a huge gun YouTuber, and I'm like, dude, what's going on? Okay, something's weird because I 2A EDU held up a slide, just a slide, and they took down the stream. I've held up a frame, just a frame, and they took down the stream. Like they're that So it was an algorithm doing it. I talked to a guy who's got like damn near 4 million subs, and he's like, look, what likely is happening is before there was the algorithm was just canning shit that the algorithm found a firearm in that was being
Yeah.
handled.
Cookie
Now,
cutters that looked like a gun kind of thing.
exactly, yeah, anything firearm related, it was like boop, gone. You hold up a frame, you hold up a slide, it's like that's a gun, boom, gone. Now, what's supposedly happening is the algorithm is flagging it, and then a human being is
Checking it
opening
out.
it and reviewing it and saying, "Oh, it's just two dudes talking about guns."
Yeah.
Now, if
So
it was
I
POV and a guy was like, like outside of a 7-Eleven, like racking up, they'd probably cut that feed. But yeah,
I put building videos on. So I didn't read the terms until I had like 7 or 8 videos on, like, how to drill a barrel liner, how to fit
mhm,
that orange and green kind of monstrosity that I designed there. The whole goal was to be under 1 kilo. So that
wow.
thing has to be, really lightweight. So built that after the proto barrel came out and
So
got that going. And I
that's
built
after 1,000 grams.
that is, oh, I forget what the video had. I believe it's right under 1,000 grams, and that's with a 180-gram bolt. So it
Wow.
weighs like really nothing. And the whole thing was like, hey, how much can we lighten this up and be a rifle? So it's got a 16-inch barrel. It's got a 13.5-inch length of pull, or almost 14-inch length of pull. Everything else is the same. And Trent Gideon hooked me up and helped me design that little top shelf there on the receiver that actually takes a Romeo Zero. So
Oh, really?
yeah, it takes a little Romeo Zero, so shake to wake kind of thing.
And it's cut specifically for that footprint?
Yeah, it has the really cool little you just pull
Little
that dude
post?
out. Yeah, wow, there we go.
Oh,
It's gone.
it's alive.
So you just pull that dude out, toss in a heat set, and mount your Romeo Zero, and you're good to go.
Dude, that's nuts, man. It's interesting. The Romeo Zero is probably the lightest red dot optic on the market too. So
Yeah,
it keeps you in that you know ultralight kind of kind of place. But for you guys out there that like to get a rifle that is under a kilo, under 1,000 grams, that's bonkers. That's crazy. The lightest build I have ever had. It was granted it was an AR and it wasn't 3D printed, but the lightest build I had ever put together was I was in a contest for the lightest AR build, and it was a 3.9 pound AR with lots of titanium, lots of carbon fiber, and it was just crazy. I could not imagine getting I mean, holding a spool of PLA in your hands being equivalent to that rifle, like that's crazy to
yeah,
me.
yeah. So we just wanted to get the whole thing done.
That's less than
It's
two
a
pounds.
Yeah, less than
No,
two
no, it's
pounds.
about two
Um,
about 2 pounds, I guess.
with a mag. So it had to have a mag, had to have an optic, had to have a 16-inch barrel and a standard length of pull, because there's lots of ways to cheat, right? Like, we all know how to cut corners. And I just thought it would be a bitchin' thing to do. I just started like talking about it to myself, and then jumped into Tinkercad and started trying to take other people's models and mix them up a little bit, trying to remix them, trying to learn that. I did CAD like in the 90s in college, but like 3D stuff is like, whew, man, how do I do this? Like, what is all this about? So I've just
Mm,
been trying to learn, and I watch Middleton Made, and I watch Hoffman, and I listen to Chairman One and watch their streams, and they're just wealths of information. Like, just, one thing they say in one sentence is like, takes me a month to learn, right? So it's just
yeah,
amazing, what we do and what we can get access to, and the people that you can access in this community. It's really awesome.
yeah, man. It's when we were talking before the stream, you kind of got to come into this like with the heart of a student. Like what, like, how do I learn as much as I can? And seeing guys like Hoffman, definitely, all the guys out there that are, I mean, Danny Meatballs is a great. I can't think of somebody that's, you know, just not
Humble
that
and
has a
cool
whole
and
lot.
talented, like crazy.
Yeah, and like they're very advanced. They have a high level of information and, experience in this, but they're willing to teach and share and, contribute to others, and that's huge. And like you said, hearing them say one thing could be like hours and hours and hours and days and days and days of printing and usage and failing and learn just to give one piece of information to you. It could save you so much time.
Yeah, dude, just like today, Easy Eye put out crap on Instagram of the little videos that he's like talking about printer calibration and like the eccentrics under the bed. I
Hmm.
built that printer that you see. That's my first one, right? We This is my first and like only printer ever.
Yeah,
And I have like blood, sweat, and tears in this thing.
that's
Um,
awesome, dude.
but I put that bed on in 2019. Right? Like
Wow,
I haven't messed with the eccentrics underneath there. The belt never broke, so I never messed with it. It's like, and then
wow.
he puts that little video out on Instagram, and it's like, oh, check the eccentrics for how this bed is. And I looked at that the other day, and I'm like, man, I gotta check. And mine had a wiggle, and I'm like, I've been chasing calibration stuff forever. He's got stuff in how to do Cura and how to do infill, like
Mhm.
setting the orientation of infill. I'm like, dude, I just thought you just let it do it. Like, let Cura do it. But now, when you think about it from an engineering point of view, you like, yeah, you totally want to set the orientation of
Yeah,
infill based upon the location of the stresses. So, like that AR-15 style grip, you're going to want to set the orientation and the infill in a different orientation up next to where it mounts to that chassis as you
yeah,
will all the way down at the bottom. And just like those things are just blowing my mind of what people are able to come up with and able to think about and work on. And I'm just stoked to be a tiny little part of it off on the side. Um, my most exciting time is when a print works or when the mail comes. Right? When I get some cool new part, I'm like, yes.
dude. I'm the same way. I'm the mail guy. I'm the guy that's, yeah. I'm excited over cheesy shit like that. So
Yeah.
don't feel bad.
My
What?
handguard for my 10-inch AR came today. So that was my last one in the, I have a 4.5-inch 300, an 8-inch 300, or a 7.5-inch 300. I wanted to build a 10-inch 5.56 because I have a 14 5.56 and 16 5.56. So it's like, you got to fill in all the barrel lengths, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now you just need a 12 and a half, and 11 and a half, a 10.3.
I'm never doing 12 or the 13.7. I think both of those are gimmicks.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. 13.7, just look, I need a 10.3, and that's it. I can do a lot with that.
Yeah.
Actually, we're
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
contest right now. Me, Flying Rich, and John Crump all have a contest going, where um, us three are building the shortest AR-15 possible.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Crump
Yeah,
was looking for like donors or whatever.
yeah.
And
I think his he was looking for some stuff that may be a little out of the price range. So I
so
think
how
he was,
crazy are you guys going? Is there a price limit? Because all that you
there is.
need, okay, what's the price limit?
So there's a reason for that really quickly. So you could very easily buy your way to winning, right?
Oh
If you
yeah.
just throw money at the wall, like people will find a way to make crazy stuff work. So we said a few things in place. We said, okay, not to exceed $2,000, which is a very healthy budget. That's a very healthy budget.
You got
Um,
different wives than I do.
yeah, we hide our money. No, I'm kidding. So not to exceed 2 grand, and it's got to be a rifle cartridge. So 223, 556, 300
Mm-hmm.
black out,
Mm-hmm.
all that. 6.5, 6.8. It can't be like 22 LR, 9 mil. It must have a gas system, so it can't just be like
Oh,
some.
no blowback.
That's
Yep.
right. So not like a crazy 1-inch barrel, blowback system, and it has to be buffered. So it can't be piston with like a folding brace or something. And also,
Okay, okay, because that's the other big thing, because that's the big cost. Like a couple of guys are doing those. What Brownells has the one with the
yeah,
basically the half cut bolt, and if you look at what Swarm's doing and Middleton's doing, they're doing these, cutting the bolts in half
yeah,
and doing
yeah.
some really cool stuff. Okay, okay,
So
well
that's
that's pretty regular, man. That's pretty.
we said it can't be printed because you could get away with a lot of crazy stuff printing. So I know a lot of people aren't going to be happy about that, but it's cool because it's like take a standard AR upper, a standard AR lower, and everything else matters, right? Like the upper and lower are just whatever, right? But
So you want to know your way to win?
so are you asking if
Are you gonna give it away? Are you gonna give away how you're gonna win? Because it's the buffer tube's your thing. So you have to chop a buffer down. You have to
maybe?
go with something super dense like tungsten. Tungsten and gold are the only things that are 19 grams per centimeter cubed, right?
Hey, look at
And
you!
yeah, and you're going to have to go with a modified spring or a spring capture system in a shorter buffer. So you can cut that buffer down
Yeah,
probably by 60%.
yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah,
then you're not going to fit a normal pistol brace on it because
bingo.
that's going to be there. So you're going to chop a shockwave off or something like that. You're going to have 4.5 inches on the rear, 4 on the front.
Dude,
There you
that's
go,
it.
man.
You got it. You should be in the contest, man. Look at that. I mean, we
We ought to have a $300 contest.
that would be pretty crazy because for that, like, well, and
$39 lower.
yeah,
You're like
like,
Anderson Arms sale deal. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
I think honestly, I think it's kind of cooler to do that. We probably didn't need to go like crazy. What I didn't want honestly, because John, he has a lot of available resources to him. I just didn't want him going to like Breachers Customs and being like, "Hey, build me a 1-inch 5.56 for $5,000,"
Yeah.
And I
With
was
some
like,
weird reverse pigtail, like the pigtail actually goes forward,
"Yeah,
gas like to come back.
yeah, like, dude, come on." There's a picture of a guy shouldering an AR with about a 1-inch barrel where the gas system is protruding like past the
Yes,
barrel.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, and it's like soldered to it, and you can see the tip of the round. Like okay, now
Coming
I gotta
out.
pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's now I gotta pull it up.
Actually, the two grand thing is good because it can't just be the gimmick for short. It's got to look good.
Yeah,
Like, so there's got to be that. And so I get why the 2 grand thing, but man, I'm half Scottish. I'm cheap as all get out. I cannot, like, I look at expensive stuff and I'm like, geez, they want what for that Safari Precision?
I
Like, it's
know.
like, man, oh man, so
It's funny. I think we're all kind of like that in a way, because like, well, except Crump. I think we like me and Rich are like super super careful with with how much we spend on anything, right?
yeah. And
This
you should, man. Oh, there you go.
yeah, this is
Hold up. I got to see that gas system. Okay. So it's like a
right.
gas key coming, looping back through a
Yeah,
standard barrel nut because you're going to have a short barrel nut because a
yeah,
handguard barrel nut's going to take you way out.
yeah,
I'm just glad there's no muzzle flash on that.
yeah. I know, right? That's a straight flamethrower. The thing's gonna be crazy, and that's the so
That's
you know
amazing.
you're like, okay, now I'm like, I don't want to give too much info, but it's like no muzzle brakes. What's the point of a muzzle brake? I need to go short, right? Like, then could I even go beyond that and say, okay, well, if I am not using a muzzle brake, are there any need for barrel through? All right, I won't talk anymore. But
Yeah. Well, you need a gas system, so you need a barrel. You need containment. You need containment past the edge of the case to do, get your direct impingement going. But yeah,
yeah,
that is
yeah,
all cool, man. That is really, really cool.
yeah, it's going to be a blast. And I bring this up because Rich actually sent a comment a little bit ago. Let me see if I can track down the comment. Um, He said, DLD After Dark, let me know how it is going to feel being the second best in the shortest AR build competition. So I
You know
think
what? In most competitions for who's shorter, I think second best is not the worst.
I'll take it. I'll
But
take
yeah,
it. you know, I think it's funny. I think that I think Crump and Rich are working together to try to beat me
uh,
because they have no idea, but they don't know that like I've been watching things very carefully and they may have slipped up a couple times and don't know it. So I'm watching y'all.
yeah,
So
yeah. And for me, like I'm really into if I'm gonna do an AR,
mhm,
I'm gonna route it. I, I
nice.
I I won't buy one with a serial number. Why? Because why? It has a
Because
serial.
why?
I This is like, it's not just that I spent $500 on this thing, but
Yeah, that
it's like, brother, I want to do something because I can do it.
yeah.
Because it's there for me and it's open. That's why I did my first P80 build. We were talking about
Oh,
this earlier. I did my first P80 build when I lived in a crap state.
show that
And
router one more time. Sorry,
oh yeah. It's just a 5D tactical.
oh
Um,
yeah,
so 80% arms out of Gardena, California. I think actually made this and got to the patent game a little bit late. So 5D tactical kind of swooped in on them.
yeah,
And put this one together. But this is really great. It just uses a DeWalt router and you just slide it in. I got a little video on YouTube on kind of how to like put this together and how to do
nice.
all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome, dude. That's really
But
cool.
yeah, they're really good. And I've done polymer lowers, I've done billet lowers, forged lowers, all that stuff. I like doing the polymer stuff too, because it's like polymer 80%. Um, I bought one today, uh, just because. Right? Like,
You know what? 1776, who is actually a friend of the channel.
dude, those guys actually hooked me up. Go
Yeah.
ahead, tell your story, and I'll tell you how they hooked me up. And it was
Oh
like,
no,
it's kind of crazy.
it may actually kind of fall in the same vein. In here, just so you guys see who I'm talking about. Yes, that's 1776. They had a deal for not 150 bucks, and frames on like Gunbroker and stuff right now are going for 150 to 200. It's kind of bizarre. I mean, it's not bizarre, right? We're heading towards the end of before the rule change hits, which of course, well, whatever. And then I see these companies selling them for like 149, 129, 119, 109, and then 1776 actually when they were doing inventory they found 20 blue titanium Glock 19 lowers, and blue is like the color. It's like my blue Chemline logo, my blue like all that stuff. That's my
Yeah,
thing.
your picture in the back, the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And they were like, "Hey, we're gonna open up sales of these blue frames just for Dark's viewers, and we're
right
doing a
on.
special deal, $90." And we sold out like that night during the stream. All of them sold. So shout out to all you guys that bought one of those. And then the next day, they said we're selling frames for $50. They sold 2,000 frames that day,
Yeah,
cleared all of them out. And then a few days later, he went calling company after company after company, trying to like get people to sell them. And they're like, "No, I'd rather just write off a loss." And he's like, "No, we need to arm the populace. We need to get these out to our people for the
yep,
movement, the cause, the the signal, whatever you want to call it, right? And a lot of companies weren't down, and the companies that were came together and they put together a kit for a Glock 19 frame, a True Shot lower parts kit, which is a really high quality lower parts kit.
Yeah, I saw
Very,
that on there.
yeah, very close to OEM, and a $60 magwell, all for $120.
Yeah,
It's like,
because what you like normally a lot of these P80s sell with one of these, right?
you know,
And you got your made in Pelosi stand. It says made in Taiwan right there.
Pelosi's thing. Yeah,
Um, it's so yeah, that's a way awesome lower parts kit.
yeah, man, yeah, that's and for
Normally I
the
try to grab those from like 2A3D. But yeah, so let me
yeah,
tell you the story for this week. So
yeah,
I buy AR parts like because I keep building stuff. So this is the trigger pack, all the
right.
triggers and springs and all that crap. And then down here is all that other little, all the other little cool things, you know, that
Oh heck
that I
yeah,
kind of buy and all, you grab like Glock stuff and whatever. So normally when I go to a gun website, I sort by the cheapest because I'm like, hey, I need springs, I need pins, I need this, I need that. Like I
yeah.
need, washers, everything, man. So I went to their site the other day because I saw like Cron or 2A3D. Some of the other folks were putting it on there, and I'm like, hey, yeah, let me go over and get some stuff from them.
Hmm.
And sorted by the cheapest. And there's these sites on there, and they're like $0. I'm like, wait, this like goes with something, or I gotta
What?
buy something else with it. It's like it was a black site with like green fiber optics, and I'm like, okay, I'll put it in the cart, and I put all my other crap in there. Like, if it's not what the deal is, they'll probably tell me, hey, dude, that's like with a 2 slides, you get that or something. I'm like, okay, cool.
Hmm.
No skin, man, no problem if it's not the deal, because nobody sells anything for zero,
Yeah,
right? Like that's a
yeah.
mistake, bro. So I put it in the cart, I check out, I do my whole thing. I get this email, your order's been shipped. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I get this email that says, hey, a note's been added to your order. And it just said like, hey, those are normally like $20, but yeah, we are working on getting them out. Um, we included it this time. Follow us on Instagram or whatever. I'm like, are you kidding me, man? That is like so awesome. Cause I would have paid $20. I would have paid whatever for it. Like, but they just did you a solid. So they
And
did me a solid.
that was 1776?
Yeah, 1776, man.
Dude, that's awesome, dude. That he actually hit me up and we talk probably almost every day now. And he was like, so I told the guys, a lot of the viewers, I was like, guys, even if you're not like trying to buy something now, like just show them some love because they're in California, right? They're
Yep.
fighting behind enemy lines and they're really doing it for like the signal, right? They're and I know a lot of people don't like that term, but like what I mean is they're doing it to help arm the general populace. And that is like so important to me and to so many other people out there. And that's why we do what we do for the hobby, for the love, for the passion, for the whatever, right? But also because all of us have a right given to us by God for self-preservation. And I was talking to him, and like a lot of your people hit me up, and I had asked them, guys, even if you're not going to buy stuff, just go on Instagram, like their page, follow them, like 10 of their pictures, and
Yeah.
send them a message just saying, "What's up? Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for fighting behind enemy lines." And you know what he did? He for those folks that ordered stuff, he started putting like a free set of sites, a free like whatever, just like started adding stuff. And I was like, dude, you guys are incredible. Just like that situation
Yeah.
that you mentioned, like that's
Yeah, so go and like their page, everybody. Do whatever you got to do. Go and find their stuff. There, I looked earlier today because like after that note came through, I'm like, ah, crap, dude, I got to go and buy like another frame or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
let's just do it. So almost everything was out of stock that I was looking for, and that's because I already have like that drawer of P80s
Yeah. Yeah.
and all that crap. But
So
yeah,
that's
go and check them
interesting.
out, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. They're just great people, man. It's all
And
about
the
people.
crazy thing is, a lot of folks are moving. Like I know that 80% Arms, the guys that actually made what that 5D tactical is, they're moving. I think they left to Texas.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
I saw that.
and all that stuff. If Texas ever gets, maybe people don't know this, but Texas has they're doing the same kind of thing that Montana did during Obama, which is they have a suppressor law that says if it's made in Texas and stays in Texas with Texas parts,
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be under the federal authority to regulate it.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that's like going through the courts now and stuff. You can probably find some videos from like the 2A scholar guy and some of the other folks
Hmm.
on a lot of that. But if that goes through, that really starts to change some of this, federal nullification of gun law stuff that, we could really see a big change. I mean, I got into all of this. I don't get people that say, oh, I'm against you know, spreading the signal or whatever, but um, I don't know where's that come from. I mean, you said some people are against that. It's like maybe I'm naive.
I
People are
think
against that.
not against the principle. I think there a lot of people don't like the statement like can't stop the signal. I think they think it's cheesy but if you
Yeah,
think
okay.
about it, like okay, let's say it is cheesy. Let's say it's stupid. Let's say it's whatever they want to call it. There's nothing that is rang more true than the fact that whoever they may be, right, the federal government, state government like California, making 3D printing of firearms illegal, even for an 0702 manufacturer, limiting them to the manufacturing of 3 firearms annually. Like this is Gavin Newsom just pushed this shit through, by the way. Like this is real.
Yeah. I saw Sabar,
It's
talking about it.
crazy. It's
I
crazy.
don't listen to California stuff because I'm not there, and everybody, everybody
Yeah,
that isn't there thinks it's just insanity. But
yeah, man.
yeah,
It just it drives me crazy. But they they truly cannot stop the signal. They cannot stop the flow of information. Now they have been at war with our information. They have been
absolutely.
100% bogarting our info, stopping the build videos, stopping that. They take every opportunity they can so that our next generation will not be able to build guns easily.
So yeah, I talked to a couple of people about doing this, and I'm not selling anything. I don't sell anything, right?
Yeah,
You always have to put that no firearms sales because I don't sell anything.
yeah,
Um, going to local gun shows with basically just the rig that you see here, starting to print stuff, laying out all the crap that I've built on the table, and just talking to people about it.
really.
Because people just need to get knowledge and awareness and understanding what's there. They think 3D printed gun is the Liberator. It's the thing they saw on CNN 7 years ago, and oh, it's terrible. I saw that John Malkovich movie where he like made one out of resin or whatever, and like assassinated somebody. I don't even remember the movie. They remember
Yeah,
all those kind of things and
I don't
stuff.
even
They need to.
remember that.
Oh yeah, that was one of those like crazy things. He had like the pen spring for the firing pin, and the bullets were in like a Lucky's rabbit's foot that he used to get through security. It was an 80s movie or 90s or something. But
Yeah,
if anybody in the chat remembers what the name is, throw it in there. But they think it's all this weird stuff. And like when I go to the like gun ranges here, it's a lot of indoor gun ranges during the summer because it's hot as blazes. But and they see like an orange gun like this, they come over, what is that? What's going on? What do you
yeah,
do? And they're idiots because they all say, oh, my birthday's coming up, you should make me one, whatever. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's not how it works, pal.
yeah.
So, but going to the gun shows and just telling people you can buy this on Amazon. You can get this all together. Here it is. Just start. There's a community. Hey, there we go. In the line of fire.
Dude, come on,
Mountain
PLA.
PLA.
Like, he is the man of like
Yes.
various knowledge.
The Quiz Bowl champion.
Yes.
I
And
love it.
may I say, one of the coolest usernames ever.
I think I like to come out in PETG a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, apparently it was taken.
It was taken. Yeah.
Oh,
You don't get that joke. You're not on Instagram.
yeah.
But yeah, I think that we all should like be trying to teach people and stuff. And you know what though? It's freaking scary, man, when they do red flag laws and all these other things. You talk to your
Mhm.
neighbor about, hey dude, let's build an AR. And he's like, wait, what? Like build an AR, how do you do that? So
Mhm.
what I was when I started, and like I would talk to my neighbor, I used to keep this in my office. And I'd have my
Mhm.
builds. There's that certain point, everybody that prints guns knows it, when it's like it's still a firearm but not a firearm, so it doesn't go
Mhm.
in the safe or it doesn't go away. you
Yeah.
know there's that stage of like completeness. And
Yep.
I would keep stuff out a lot, my goofy, that are we cool yet poison scorpion build.
Mm.
Everybody digs looking at that. They all dig looking at the build that has the Suomi mag, the
Nice. The
on the
sumac.
Mac. Yeah, this poison sumac. They love seeing that thing. Like, what the heck is that?
It's crazy
Um,
looking.
yeah, so it's awesome, like to tell people about it and what you do and how we do it and why. Um, but yeah, we've got to find better forums for that. And
Well, one of
and
the things
create it
that I
more
found to
normal.
be pretty effective is I find a lot of people saying, people that, like you said, don't really know a whole lot. They're like, hey, will you build me one? Will you print me one? Will you do an 80 for me or whatever? And I have to kind of educate them and be like, well, that's illegal. And so many times they're like, what? That's stupid, because
It
they
is,
don't
yeah.
get it, right? And yes, it is stupid, right? But um, I tell them, look, I'll help you. I'll help you build one. You
Yep.
will build it, and I'll walk you through everything. I'll tell you like options, places to go, to where to get parts, and all this. And you want to get a printer, you want to get an 80, whatever you want to get, I'll help you. The only thing that I ask, usually, like as we're going through the actual building process, I tell them, because they're building it, I'll help them assemble and stuff. But I say the only thing that I ask is that you then help other people, build, print, or whatever
Yeah.
afterwards. And honestly, I think they kind of take it seriously, because they're like, man, you're taking a lot of time to spend with me, walk me through stuff, explain why this spring goes there, why this one is for 17 and this one is for 19 and this one. And sometimes when you get the aftermarket ones, you got to get needle noses and clench it just to get that little piece off the. So it's
Yeah.
like all those little things are important, and they're like, man, you're entrusting me with this info, and you're telling me, yes, you'll help me assemble this and build this, as long as I go do the same. And it kind of gives them like a responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that was like back to one of the things we were talking about before, man. Like, I know Mr. Snow is down in Texas right now talking to Cody and working some of that out to try to see what can be done to enhance some of that and Ghost
Hmm.
Gunner and everything else. If that printer wasn't called an Ender 3 Pro and it was called a 3D print gun printer, there's no way
Yeah,
I would have bought it off Amazon. There's no
yeah,
way UPS would have shipped it.
yeah.
So I'm very much an advocate for us taking. I know we want to put the gun thing on everything, right? Ghost Gunner 3, like it's
You
got,
want to take the
you know,
taboo out of it.
I want to take the taboo off of it, man. I want to make it a thing that grandpa buys because he's like, oh, I can mill out a tie rack for this.
Yeah.
I can do a tie rack. Oh, and I can
Build a
also do
model plane.
1911. It's like, my old gun from that my granddaddy had, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Let those dudes do that stuff, man.
yeah,
Make it, find ways that we can do this stuff where it's cross purposes and for less expensive. I showed you that 5D tactical deal.
yeah.
If you made that with like a motor and like servos that move the motor around, that thing would
Mm.
be $4,000,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
not. I am the servos and I buy a DeWalt drill.
Yeah.
UPS will deliver a DeWalt router to my house.
Yeah.
UPS, we look at UPS, they won't deliver a slide from certain manufacturers. They won't deliver a lower from certain locations. They won't deliver ammunition, some of it, right? Like
Yeah.
I hate the UPS dude, man. I hate FedEx because the dude was always late in the day and he wouldn't get here till like 5 or 6. UPS guy
Mhm.
gets here at 11 normally. So I get to unwrap my packages early. But the bummer is if the government and corporations are going to work together, we need to do everything that we can to de single use all of these things, right? We need to pull these
Yeah.
capabilities of printing and machining and milling and routing and lathing to things that apply to guns and other things. You
Yeah.
know, the way that they keep weapons out of other countries and like how we keep stuff out of Iraq and all that is tubes of a certain aluminum of a certain thickness they know are made for missiles. So they
Yeah.
don't let them send them in. Well, other tubes, they can be made for a missile, or you can put high pressure liquefied natural gas in it. We need
Mhm.
to be the multi use. Like, hey, there's a legitimate quote unquote use for this thing, which is what the FCG guys have done with FCG Dyne and all that stuff, you know,
Yeah.
RC
Yeah.
part springs and all that stuff. We don't
Yeah.
need to go there yet, but we need to open up our printing and machining community to stuff that's like more than just you can build a couple of gun lowers in it. That's just my point of view. Um,
Yeah, I think, and I don't disagree. Part of me wants to just scream, build guns from the rooftop, right? But you are right in that it opens it up big time. A couple different things. One, um, if let's say, for example, the Ghost Gunner, and shout out to Cody Wilson and all the guys and gals over there. Now that I finally have my printer back up and running, man, that did come out pretty clean. That's nice. Now that I have my printer up and running, I said I wasn't going to open my GG3 till I had my printer up and running because I just felt like it wasn't right. Like they're a combination thing. That they're, you know, I I didn't want to skip that step. I'm newer in
yeah,
the thing, so it was important to me. So now that I have my printer back up and running, I'm going to crack open that Ghost Gunner 3. I'm about to move, but after that, I'm going to crack open the Ghost Gunner 3 and go to work. But you're right that if the Ghost Gunner 3 was called a tabletop CNC machine, or just like a tabletop single axis CNC machine, or whatever it was, right? Like it, it wouldn't be, it wouldn't have this dark cloud cast upon it, and it would be highly likely that a bunch of dudes would get it just for other stuff. And then all of a sudden, while they're searching things and while they're looking stuff up, they're like, oh, people are using this to build firearms? Like, this is crazy. And they
yeah,
may start building guns because
they
they
have
already
one.
have this thing for, like you said, a tie rack, or like, if they want to, mill out a pair of aluminum shoes, whatever they want. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, right now, you know, the Ghost Gunner 3 is black. Make
Yeah.
a green one that's desktop CNC that you put in high schools.
Ooh, like a
You know,
Kawasaki green one.
remember the kids taking ceramics, man? And like the first day of class, your old ceramics hippie teacher would say, like, don't make a bong, dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
everybody knew that they could do that, right? It was
of
like,
course.
that's the first thing that everybody tried to do. It's like, what is this? Well, it's a vase. Then why does it have two holes in it? Like,
Yeah.
it's for my mom. She has long flowers and short flowers. It's like, no,
Yeah, we
no,
need it.
bro, that's a bong.
Oh
Um,
man,
but that's
KSD
fine.
says we need to call it my first CNC,
Yeah, yeah, with a little exactly.
like with the Play School logo
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
I have,
Put two little girls in there making a, you know, a sten.
yeah, right. Out of an advanced auto muffler, of course.
Yes,
Shout out to
yes,
Graham.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
man, it's crazy that, like, and I'm not like the machining type of dude. Like I got into the only metal work that I got into was because of firearms, and it was because I really wanted a distressed look on a frame that I did a battle worn paint job on. So I was like, yeah, I want to start kind of venturing into like metal work. Never any like, you know, like heavy removal of material, just like surface stuff and all that. And but it started getting me really curious, and now just knowing that now I have an AR-15, a blue titanium actually, AR-15 lower. That's going to be one of the first things that I do. I'm gonna get a 1911 kit from 1776. Now they put a lot of work into pre-fitting the
Yeah.
whole kit together like beforehand, so that's gonna be awesome. But I'm gonna do one of those. I really want to try to like venture into some of the steel stuff, but and you can literally just go pick up a block of 6061 aluminum and you can cut a Ruger 1022 receiver out of aluminum.
Yeah, I saw Mr. Snow's stuff on that, and I love it. Like the 1022 platform, if everybody hasn't like messed with it, like it can do everything. If you look at DB's Nave Blaster, that's like on one side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, I've been talking to Trent Gideon a little bit about making like a biathlon action 1022. So that would be basically a straight pull 1022 that stays closed, no reciprocating bolt, no semi-auto, but you
Really?
just flick your thumb back, open the chamber, flick your thumb forward, load the next round, right? It can be made really light. It locks solid. All that stuff could be quiet as well if you wanted to do that sort of thing.
Interesting. That would be like stupid quiet with like some
Yeah.
CTI subs, the quiets, the like,
Yeah, dudes
yeah.
are making lowers with AR-15 fire control groups. There's a dude on Instagram that's been working on just Greg Powers is got a trigger group that all of it's printed other than the hammer and the springs.
Mm,
So like the only thing we need like from the gun store, quote unquote, is a hammer.
yeah.
And everything else can be made out of whatever the heck you got. So that 1022 platform has just got so many different things on it. And I know everybody's like, sometimes they're like, 22, how lame. You know, I know Booligan dealt with some of this stuff, like when you make it a 9mm, whatever. It's like, yeah, 22 is fun. And also 22 is really dangerous.
Yeah.
If you pop out of battery condition, 22 can be more spicy than you want it to be, like that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
dang.
one of my bolt tests. That sucker blew the gun. It done blowed up real good.
So
Um,
that's when I asked what you think you're most well known for. That's one of the things I was thinking. The printed bolt for the
blowing up the gun.
1022. Talk,
Yeah.
talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so the printed bolt thing just it was one of those why can't we do it things, right? It was like, okay, there's all of these different parts for this. And
Yeah.
I went into Tinkercad and I started building out this model and saying, what do I need to do to make a 1022 bolt? So I grabbed calipers, got things going, started building this model and putting things together. Originally, it was just this one tungsten pine car derby weight in the back. And then it became a little bit more. And it's like these tungsten welding rods now. Also
Mhm.
from Amazon, they're not 1022 bolt welding rods, you know. And then so now this bolt is got welding rods in the rear, welding rods that go in the front, and that pine car derby weight. And with the charging handle, an OEM bolt weighs 180 grams.
Okay.
This bolt weighs 120 grams with that. And so far, I've been testing it. The situation is it's kind of some math, but the situation is you have a 40 grain projectile on average. Some 22 projectiles are heavier, some are lighter, with enough powder to push that thing up to about 1,800 feet per second,
Mm,
which means you have a inertia coming rearward that's going to blow that bolt out unless that bolt's heavy enough to, slow that down to a point that its inertia will transfer into the bolt and then start moving back. My earlier bolt designs were way too light because, the guy that builds the 1K rifle wants to build a lightweight bolt too.
Yeah.
But you learn, play stupid games, learn some things. And I played some stupid games and blew some stuff up. And then I was like, okay, I think I figured out how some of this works.
Yeah.
And so that's been a little bit of a journey figuring all that out and learning it.
Yeah, I was so impressed when I saw it, man. I was like, dude, we have come so far to where we can literally, like you said, the only thing we'll need from the gun store is, your nylon hammer.
Yeah, and
Actually,
I'm not against the gun store. Like that's another thing, but I really do think like we need to take this ability back. In every
yeah.
town, in revolutionary times, there was a dude that could build a gun, right?
Hmm.
And he could build a gun and give it to his neighbor, build a gun for his son, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We don't have that, and then we have all these designs that kind of make it hard. Well, man, this whole community has opened that up. Like we're back to like having really very few, if no excuses to,
Yeah.
being able to say we can put together self-defense weapons, hunting weapons, tyranny fighting weapons from our house. And we should. So we were talking about preparedness earlier, right? That's one of those things that's
Yeah.
a preparedness thing. My problem is I just keep building sometimes and I don't totally finish my builds. So
We all have that problem.
yeah, I'm a guy with 17 half-built projects and all that kind of stuff. So makes it tough.
Yeah. The interesting thing though is like you said, we're really kind of running out of excuses, right? Like for the cost of like my LWRC with an optic and a can, I could buy a ghost gunner. You know, it's for $99. You could get the Micro Center deal and get an Ender 3, and then you're basically just getting parts from then on out. Now
Yeah,
I do believe that in the future they're likely going to come after our parts. I think they're going to. I don't. I don't know exactly how it would work with the way that they like the languaging in the frames and receivers bill. Uh, but I think they at least tried to position themselves so that in the future they could come back after parts because they're,
yeah,
like let's say a Glock, right?
serialized. Yeah,
Yeah, serialized or they're a very important. I forgot the exact phrase, but like they're very important pieces for the for the functionality of the
yeah, critical components.
critical components. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Very important pieces. Yeah. So like yeah, critical components. I mean, shit.
parts is
Really, that's
parts. Yeah,
everything. So
yeah,
I don't know
for
what the
sure.
future is going to look like, but I know that if we can machine pins, bolts, screws, if we can print mags, if we can print, and look at like Suckboy Tony, right? Like he's removing
Yeah,
everyone from the equation. you know,
yeah.
he's removing the
Gauss
2
rifle.
mark for
Yeah,
bullets. Like so I think no matter what the changes of laws, rules, regulations, restrictions, sanctions, code, whatever the hell changes, we're still going to be able to have the ability and capability. It's just, it depends on how spicy individuals want to get. But
yeah,
and follow all the rules, guys. And do what you want.
yeah. Don't do stupid stuff. I saw like I think Sabar Guns from the Grave or somebody posted earlier today like some poor dude in Dallas, Texas got like 10 years for printing a switch. And it's like, dude, you sold like 20 switches to some idiot online. Like,
Yeah.
man, come on. Your
I,
life. Like,
I don't understand it, man.
what I show is what I make. I'm not making stuff
Yeah,
that
it's
I'm not showing. Like, right? Like, so if any feds have watched to this part of it, what you see is what I'm building, and all of this stuff is legal in my jurisdiction and location.
yep,
Um, and we should really keep pushing for that, um, and making sure that people know that there is a way to do this and to enjoy this hobby. Um, I would not push people into this telling them it's cheaper,
yeah,
because once you roll through a couple of rolls of filament and go like, man, I didn't even get anything out of that. I
yeah.
just wasted all of that and ended up with a spaghetti pile in the morning.
Oh
um,
yeah, God.
oh dude,
That's
yeah.
I've been lucky. I've not experienced the spaghetti pile yet.
Oh man, yeah, dude, you're a virgin.
I know, I
Come
know.
on, man.
It's
Come
because
on.
I'm still at that point where when I, see a print go and I'm like, let me just watch the first few layers.
you
And it's
you
like an hour
you
later,
need you need to start printing a Hoffman stock, and it's working great here when you go to bed, and then you come in
oh,
the levitating head, hot end is up here, and it basically stopped printing there, and the rest of the spaghetti is everywhere. Like,
it's just squirting everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm like kind of considering like, okay, if I am gonna run, at least one printer often, should I get Octoprint? Like, what's your setup?
Dude, I wish I knew all that stuff. We need that's some of the stuff that we need in our community. We need some guys. Somebody hooked me up with Are We Cool Yet firmware on this, because I couldn't print nylon, because I
Mhm.
couldn't get over 260 or whatever this OEM kind of,
Yeah,
thermal max temp is. And I was like a software developer in my life. So I had like VS Code open, and all the different bits and bobs and the Marlin firmware builder, and I had my board, and I had all that stuff. I couldn't get it to work for like 4 months. Rebuild my laptop, do everything, trying to get it work. We need a lot of people that know how to do some bit twiddling on a lot of these
yeah,
things to really help us out, because if you buy an Ender, your base firmware won't print nylon because you can't get it hot enough, because the hot end won't get hot enough, and they're worried about them burning down the house.
yeah,
Um, Shoot, man, I remember the first overnight print that I had. Like, I didn't tell my wife I was printing, and I was like,
yeah,
man, what's gonna happen? Is this thing
yeah.
gonna like? Am I gonna wake up with a fire truck, in my
I
front yard?
know, dude. I
You
felt
know,
the
but
same way.
we need more cats like the dude that helped me out. I don't think he's on Instagram, so I'm not mentioning him. He's not in YouTube either. But he helped me out. He helped me put the firmware together. I haven't got Clipper or Octoprint going. I got all the stuff ready to go for it.
Oh,
I
really?
read everything, and I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, get this on the device and download it here, and I'm like, oh crap. I get like 2 steps in, and something doesn't work, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So
And you're just like, I like the way I print guns now.
yeah, that's the thing, man. Once you start into printing, you get really good at like tearing down your printer and replacing parts, and
Yeah,
you try to avoid those times. So like, I printed some good nylon parts this week. So I don't want to
yeah.
not print nylon next week.
I
So yeah,
know, I
that's
know.
just what
Like,
happens, man.
I
Happens to
like
all of us.
the idea of Octoprint having cameras, having 24-hour access, being able to just go in on my phone and be like, pause the print, stop the print, spaghetti's everywhere. I'm at work. Let me boop boop boop. Let me stop
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah, dude.
cool. But
Yeah, dudes like OA are like, oh, I just print from the couch. I put it up on my phone and I send the file, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, what?
yeah,
No,
yeah,
you
that's
need to grab the SD card and remember what orientation it is, and run to the
yes,
laptop in the other room. And you have to, like, I,
yeah,
I used to I used to put post-it notes on my printer and stuff that says, "Did you preview in Cura?" Because so many times I didn't put supports and I wanted them, or I did put supports and I didn't want them. And 6 hours later, I'm like, oh crap, it's got no supports. It's like,
Yeah.
all the stuff you learn, man. But yeah, if I was living that life, that seems so easy, but I've gotten
Yeah,
so
man.
used to doing what I do
It's
that I kind of
way
enjoy
more.
it.
Yeah, I just feel like it's way more complicated than it. And look, it's worth it to the dudes that are running like prints like that, man. Like I, but like you're talking to a dude with like two block frames, guys. Come on, like give me a break. I'm maybe one day, right? When I have
Embarrassment of riches, man. Embarrassment of riches.
I know, I know. Now that I finally, it's been a joke in the community. Everyone's like, "Oh, Dark, yeah, he's not gonna get his printer back up and running." And like all the time, I had the intention of getting it back up and running, but once I started looking into what replacing the thermistor actually involved, I was like, hell no. I gotta plug shit in, I gotta cut the glue that the 9-year-old in China put on the motherboard. Like, no, I'm not doing that shit. And then I finally the other day I was at home and I literally canceled all my appointments and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not working and yep. I'm
Real
sorry.
ones know, man. You gotta have like if you don't have a drawer at your for your printer with spare thermistors and extra boards and the damn parts cooling fans that dye all the steam. There you go, man.
Now
Yeah, you
now
got to have three bags. You got to have a bag that says bad. You got to have the bag that says maybe good.
emergency stuff.
Emergency. Yeah.
Because of people like Come Out in PLA who sent me this a new motherboard, a thermistor, like a bunch of nozzles. Like, dude, just sent out of the kindness of his heart. And not only did he send me that, and UAV Hero sent me this. You guys are incredible, and that's why you guys know my private home address. I'm just kidding, but
And
you
that's
guys.
why my social security number is.
But
Um,
Come Out in
yeah,
PLA.
that's
He sent me that stuff when he sent me this.
ooh.
I won the roast of
See,
episode 36 with my first 3D printed frame with a battle worn. I did all the work on the metal, and it was a Glock 19 with a TLR 7 with a Swamp Fox optic with a suppressor on it. And look at that! It's the same. It's the
see, I
same.
love it, man. I love.
Yeah,
See,
man.
the thing is, I've never even submitted anything to that because everything looks so damn good. Oh, hey, right on.
Yeah, man.
Everything looks so good that they put on that show, man. Like it's like, man, I don't think I have any,
It's hard to
things that are that bougie, and I don't
it's hard
have
to
any like
roast stuff.
diorama of guns, with like the background matches the color of the this and the color of the that. It's like,
Yeah,
man,
dude,
that's a whole nother level.
it
And
gets
so
crazy.
another thing, like Come Out in PLA did, he helped a dude that was trying to work on like a binary lower. I
Hmm.
think he does a binary lower by messing up the dimensions of the pins
Hmm.
in the fire control group. But he had a bunch of model problems with it, and he helped him like fix some of the meshes and some of the voids in the model that the guy was putting together. Guns for You, I think, is the guy's name on
Hmm.
Instagram. So like that is other examples of like the community coming out to help. Like, hey, I got CAD maybe a little bit better than you do. Let me help that out. Let me put this together for you.
Yeah,
So yeah, that dude's solid.
yeah, man. I'm just grateful to kind of be the guy like floating around all these awesome people. There's a man who said one of the coolest quotes ever. And he said, "If I've seen further than other men, it's because I stood on the
I
shoulders of
stood on the
giants."
shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
that
exactly.
it's so true, man. It's like these guys, the Hoffmans of the world, the chairman, the folks at 1776, the Come On PLA, UAV here, like Invader Zip, Nimbus, like
Mm-hmm.
Danny Meatballs, like man, all these guys, like, and they're real people. They're like, yeah, hit me up. I would love to help you. Zip was probably more excited than me that my printer was back up and running. Like
Yeah.
it was cool, man. So
So
yeah,
here's my one beef with our community. When like I don't even want to say this, man, because it's gonna come true. So when like Nimbus does what he did with that Mac upper that's 5.7 by 28.
Mm-hmm.
I want to build one of those. But guess what? Everybody else does too, and they all go and buy up those uppers. You can't get anything, man. It's like when I first got my MAF upper, oh, dude, I was like on that list for forever.
Yeah.
And I like sent the guys an email, and I'm like, hey, like I've been on this list. It's been a long time. Like, are you alive? Like, and they're like, yeah, send us an email to this other special email thing, and you get the first. And I'm like, oh, that's why I've never been getting any of this, right? Everybody's got buddies. Everybody's got hookups. And it's like, it's hard to get some of these parts, man. Like, who is it? 3102A posted a Evo bolt this week. And I'm like, dude, you just like, that's like, I in our community, a brand new Evo bolt, that's like a unicorn. Like, that's like a unicorn, Pegasus unicorn, with sparkle farts or something. You can't find that, man. I'm like, where did you get it? He's like, I just got it off the site. I'm like, oh man. So sometimes everybody works on awesome, cool stuff, and everybody runs and gets them.
It was like the AUG kits. The AUG kits, the AEG kits were $180 on a website, and then like within 2 weeks, they were $400 because they've been sitting on. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
they've been sitting on them since Die Hard, right? And then all of a sudden, freaking flying off the shelf. Like,
I can hold that, right? That's not a firearm. Okay, yeah. So I got my AUG sitting back down here, and I'm like, I've been waiting 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what? Just because you said it, I'm actually kind of curious. Let's just see what happens if just took my out. I'm just curious with this Glock 43X.
What happens if you do that?
Oh yeah, look at that. That is a Glock 26. That's a P80.
Or that. That's 43.
Hell yeah! Did you have any issues with the 43? Now you do.
That drop it. Now I do. You know what? I did have some issues with the 43. Number one, it was the first 5th gen lower that I've done, and I didn't know what the heck that stupid little spring was on the slide release. I was like, how does spring get caught on here?
Yeah,
and then
it's unique.
Yeah, and then I was looking at the trigger going, what am I getting wrong? What am I not understanding? It is drop safe, and it's unloaded.
Oh, dude, Safety Harbor Firearms in my stream? Holy shit. Brother Walt, thank you for coming in, man. Shout out to Florida Man, Safety Harbor Firearms. Guys, check out Safety Harbor Firearms, too. They got some dope shit. And, and I heard you had Glock barrels for, like, crazy cheap. Like less than, like, $60. So,
dude, that's like nothing. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. So, shout out. We love Walt. He's awesome. My apologies. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So that was a unique build, and then there's some stuff like I'm cheap, so this is a PMag, right? Because where I went, the OEM mag is like $39, and I'm like, $39. Come on. Like, something's got to be better. But the bummer with this PMag is unloaded, it locks back, but then, man, good luck getting this thing back. It's like...
It's hard. Now, it's hard with any 43 mag. So even with a... have you tried an OEM mag in there at all?
I have not.
It is probably just as, if not even more difficult to close the slide on an empty mag.
I will quit my complaining.
It's really tough. UAV Hero, what's up, brother? I already shouted you out a whole bunch. Thank you for all the help. I got my printer back up and running, and I'll show you real quick. Oh, look at that Mav 9, baby. But I will tell you that my my Magwell suffered a terrible case of curly lips and that shit didn't make it. So I'm gonna have to redo the magwell. But man, I was talking to 1776, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna change the game of printing, um, to where like you'll be able to get files pre-sliced, ready to go, like literally just preheat PLA, boom, put it in, start it, and like settings are already all on point. Like all you have to do is like, auto hone and you're, on point. And I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm gonna print a very kind of like it's not out yet. It's past alpha. It's technically like in between alpha and beta, and they're letting me print a really really cool thing that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about yet. But Rails down. So with his file, yes, it will be Rails down, and I'm a Prusa slicer guy, so I don't do tree supports or anything. So whatever the way he does stuff, it's gonna be like that. Yeah, which I think is cool. Pretty cool.
I think any of the folks that are working on built-in supports, so DB with the Nave Blaster,
Yeah.
that's like one of the best I've seen. Hoffman stuff is like amazing with that. Any of the modeled in supports
Mm-hmm.
are so much better than what any slicer is really going to do. And like I said, that easy eye stuff that I saw, like when he was showing that you can set the orientation, I'm like, dude, that is like beyond.
Yeah,
So
that's
I think a
crazy.
lot of folks coming into the hobby or whatever we're going to call what we do, I don't know what we do. Folks coming in, I think that would help. So if a lot of those things, because if you sit somebody down and like just start talking slicer and orientation and why maybe angling something's better or whatever, it is really difficult to learn, right?
It
Like I
is.
got this printer in 2019. I showed you my first successful print,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like, man, that was a long time to get to that successful print. And now I look at it and I go, that's trash, right? So
The
it's,
crazier thing is take it back even further a step
oh
and
man,
say,
yeah.
when you're like, you know what, I'm ready to get a printer, and then you go to the store, you go to Micro Center, you go to your online retailer, wherever, and you're like, I'm getting a printer, and then you get it, and you open the box, and you're like, holy shit, it's 78 pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my god. No, I knew that I was gonna have to assemble it, build it, whatever. But man, I so okay, so Sabar says Dark is gonna be developing soon. So there's some stuff that you guys don't know. I actually I may not be a dev, but I am one of the idea guys for some folks out there. So there may be stuff that you guys are gonna see very, very soon that actually started up here. And one of them, I don't care. One of them is going to be this guy right here, or this guy right here. We're just kind of thinking some different things, um, depending on how we can do this. I guess the details don't matter yet. I know I've mentioned this to a few of you guys. No matter what, you guys are going to have a crank Gatling gun 22 that runs off of a single, most likely a single 1022 receiver. Now, the magic is not just, running a Gatling gun that spits, 24 rounds out a second. Um, what's going to be cool is when you can, use the Ghost Gunner to make the gears that are timed perfectly, right? Or if we can get to the point where we can freaking 3D print the, the receiver, the like you're doing the bolt, the receiver, the barrel with a barrel liner, and so all those barrels are all going to be printed. They're all going to have barrel liners. They're all like this is going to be as DIY as possible to keep people out of the store. And another project If
You
there
also have an
was,
advantage there too, because you can have a bolt that's actually half the weight if you have it work on kind of a open bolt release with a pinned firing pin. So
ah,
non-articulated firing pin. So the trigger is actually releasing the bolt to slide forward. The bolt for a reciprocating blowback can be half the weight. Here I am talking about like making things lighter again, but it can be lighter than a standard bolt because it's reciprocating inertia is going forward, boom, fires, slides back, and then gets out of the way of that barrel coming through. The barrel locks in, the trigger releases that bolt to slide forward, bang, hits it, fires, flies back.
okay,
There's lots of
okay,
cool things you can do with that, man. That's a great idea.
huh? Yeah, that. Thank you. That's good night, Flying Rich. Um, that's awesome. That's something I didn't consider. That's a really great idea.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna have to boogie in a couple minutes too, but yeah.
yeah,
What
yeah.
else were you saying, man?
Um, the other thing is there's going to be a couple small things like um, uh, um, in the file is going to be like a 3D printed shell catcher. It's going to be kind of how like if you look at like one of the like I think it's Bradley makes the miniguns where it's got the handle on it, right? So you can actually like hold it, kind of like a
A
chainsaw.
chainsaw. Yeah.
What we're going to do is make a handle with a relief cut in it that you can, if you wanted to, slide a BX-25 magazine in there and actually run it off of it'll look like the handle, but it's just a bunch of cool things, man, and like extras in the STL file to where you can have like a shell catcher that's 3D printed that attaches to just a whole bunch of cool shit, man. Where
Yeah.
I'm
Right on.
there's the
Yeah.
last thing I'll
Totally
say
dig it.
quickly, there is a there's an HK product that most of us have not been able to ever get our hands on that we're working on too, and it's going to be a game changer. So cool shit like that, man. And I'm just talking, right? I'm not that. Like, these guys are developers. I'm just talking. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're the producer, man. You're the producer.
Probably not even that. They probably just take
Sitting in
like
the back with a cigar and the shiny glass,
and
your aviator glasses. Here's what we're gonna do.
yeah,
Gatling gun 22.
yelling through a
Go ahead
megaphone.
and get it, guys.
Make it quick. Give me a coffee. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
man, I so appreciate you coming on, man. And I know we could talk all night, but what's next? If you could throw something out, like what's next for you? What's the next project?
I've told a couple of people about this, but I'm working on building a carbon fiber tube Mac upper.
Mm,
So it uses the carbon fiber tube instead of the steel tube, uses a front end that's an aluminum threaded and riveted in and glued in um, barrel that a Mac barrel is threaded, so you thread it in, and
hmm
then Aves Rails is making bolts. A couple other folks are making bolts, and I'm like, hey, it took me stinking forever to get that thing from MAF. Love those guys. If I could buy one every couple of weeks, I would, but I
Yeah.
can't. So what could we do to like make that better? Because if you look at 2A3D, he's got the side plates if you want to make a metal one, and iPrint Shit was doing building that up in the last couple of weeks. It's totally awesome, cool build. So
Yeah,
I'm
man.
like, well, if we could get a carbon fiber tube, it's a square tube. It's still called a tube, but it's a square box
hmm
that we can run that Mac bolt in. We can put something together. So that's the next thing that I'm going to start tinkering on once I get this bolt released
Mm.
and bolt done.
That would be a game changer, man.
It'd be fun because I think like Riptide might be able to make those front end pieces for threading the bolt or threading the barrel, um, and all that. Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's
DIY Mac basically.
hell yeah. Well, that's gonna be a game changer. Um, dude, I like I said, really appreciate you coming on, man, and I love what you do, and I love seeing your videos. And no matter where I'm at and what I'm doing. When I see you on my IG feed, I'll stop. I'll turn my phone off of vibrate to loud so I can hear what you're saying in your videos, and I'll just like take a listen. So I appreciate what you're doing, man. I think it's really important because I don't know, like your style, the way you kind of go about communicating things, a little bit of like humor in it, man. It's just you bring like another element of like fun to building with a lot of creativity of like printed. So we can print the 1022 receiver. We can print 1022 barrels with barrel liners. You're completing the project to where like guys, like we can literally not even go to a shop and print and put together a 1022. Like that's so crazy. So I know they know probably already, right? I know. I'm just excited about it. I think it's awesome, and I love what you're doing, man. So definitely keep it up.
Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks everybody that listened to all of this stuff and everything. Hope you reach out on Instagram, say hi, whatever. Saw some folks that were in the chat that are major homies. So thank you much.
Hell yeah,
And also everybody, thanks for inspiring me to do some stuff and check some things out and put things together. So awesome.
that's
Thank
awesome.
y'all.
Hell yeah. And this is his YouTube channel, guys. So are you active on that channel currently?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I've only
Yeah.
watched on Instagram, so I need to.
Oh, I got
um,
the blow up videos over there. I got the like building a proto barrel, routing stuff. I got a whole bunch of different stuff I put up there.
Dude, I've been missing it all, man. Look at me, look at me. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna definitely gonna
I
go
basically,
subscribe.
yeah, I just basically describe stuff. So I describe like the mac and cheese and like all that stuff of kind of what I put together. And hey, thank you all.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and I just try to describe it and put it together. And it's weird. People from like France reach out to me and say, "Where's this? Where's this bolt? Because I need one of those." And
Yeah.
you know, all kinds of weirdness goes on the YouTubes. So
Oh yeah, man. It's a crazy, crazy place. Um, but yeah, man, dude. Everybody out there, go to Instagram. Make sure you follow Haywood Yabuzzoff. I thought it was a Toy Story reference at first. It's not. Um, is it?
no, it's the like there used to be like the law firm Dewey Cheatham and Howe,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like the customer service representative, Mr. Haywood Yabuzzoff, and it's all
yeah.
like the crap that Bart Simpson would call at Moe's. It's Mike Hunt here,
Yep, yep, yeah, I thought so. I just when
Amanda
I
Hug and
first
Kiss.
saw it, I just got the Toy Story vibes. I don't know why. I think I was like, "Hey, Woody, Buzz." Okay, Woody and Buzz.
There you
But
go.
no, that's awesome. Hey, Wood, you Buzz off. Yeah, guys, check him out. And of course, I'm going to end my stream the same way I end my stream every single time. Make sure as you go through your lives, be kind in everything that you do. Your opportunity for like that 2 seconds you have with someone, a split second, you just being kind could have a huge impact on their lives. Live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others, contribute to others, because the hand that's open to give is also open to receive. We also know that the only way for us to defeat evil is for good men to be skilled in violence. So make sure that you are becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be. And of course, make sure you are safe, dangerous, and you keep that thing on you. So that's it. I appreciate you guys coming in and fucking rock on. And again, come out in PLA, UAV Hero, IPS, Sabar, all you guys. Thank you for the inspiration and just for everything to keep continuing doing this shit. Love you guys. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Woo! See you guys. Hold on. Make sure you guys go show some love to 1776 and make sure you guys go show some love to Tack Knives. Now, this one you can actually get from me because I'm helping them get through the last little bit of inventory. But this, I don't know. Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Okay, I'll do it. This one, the Halo clone, this mother right here, bro. What? Bruh. This thing is so nasty. It's just gorgeous. D2 tool steel. man. So yeah, this I'm helping the company out. It's only a little bit of support goes back to the channel, about $10, but hey, it is worth it. Tack Knives USA fulfills the order. But this thing, the Halo clone, good God, it's so nasty. Tack Knives also is having crazy sales. So if you're doing things like this little guy right here, the Warncliffe Tonto Barracuda with carbon fiber. Oh, D2 tool steel. Look at that. But I love the shape of that thing, man. That Warncliffe Tonto. So sick. This is actually a double action. And we also got the PWEDC version, the that little guy. This actually is super functional, and I've used this probably way too much, but the quality is great, the steel is great, the action is great. These things are awesome, man. So check out Tack Knives. And lastly, the Plum. Oh, look at that guy. I love that color. The Plum two-tone. Man, that action is crazy. Yeah, that's sick, man. And it's got the glass breaker on it with a little BB up in there, a little pellet in there, so get a good smash on the window. This would actually be a great car knife. Like even if you kept it like just like clipped to the visor, well, that could actually probably become a projectile in an accident. So maybe don't do that. But if you had it on you, because you should always have a knife on you, that's one of the rules. If you had the knife on you, you could strip yourself of the knife, open it up, remove your seatbelt, close it, smash the window, and get out if you were in duress in an accident, or if that's just how you choose to get out of your car every time. You just smash your seatbelt, close it, smash the window, and then walk to work. You could do that. That's great. But in the end, we want to support Tack Knives. If you use code DARK, you get 20% off. If you're looking, this is the TK Pro line. This is the high-end line. That's why it looks like that, guys. Holy shit! Look at the machining of that blade. God damn. God. Okay, check it out. Code DARK saves you 20% off. And also, if you're looking for the massive, guys, I got big freaking hands, okay? Look at this shit. Look at that shit. If you're looking for a massive OTF with just beautiful fucking lines, God damn, look at that, man. It's so crazy. This is it. These are $159, and if you get them from me, then you can get them for $109 because I only care about $10. I don't give a fuck about shit else. So yeah, holla at your boy. Support the people that support us. Support 1776. Take advantage of their deal for $120 for a frame. The frames that I used to buy for $150, right? You can get a Glock 19 frame, a $60 magwell, and a $60 lower parts kit for $120. Like that's crazy. That's almost like a $60 magwell and a $60 lower parts kit with a free frame, or a $120 frame with a free $60 magwell and a free $60 lower parts kit. Is whatever way you want to look at it. It's stupid cheap. So take advantage of it. Good night, Dark. I'll check that frame out if it's on IG. Actually, you know what? You can check it right here. Now, I had to save this a couple times. I had a couple thermal runaways, and I haven't removed the supports completely off this, but it's a clean print, bro. It's a clean print. I mean, there are some imperfections, but what I noticed was there's a couple imperfections, but because I sliced it at 200 degrees when I was printing it, I bumped it up to 210. So I think what happened is like several times it kept saying, I'm supposed to be at 210. No, I'm supposed to be at 200. No, 210. No, 200. And then it had an error. But once I fixed it and adjusted it to 200, it actually self-adjusted back to 210. I said, turned it back to 200. It self-adjusted again to 210. I said, stop it, motherfucker. And I put it back at 200. It finally stayed and literally finished out the rest of the print. So these are V2s. So reduce the runaway. Probably not. I'm going to guess probably not, because if you notice something just by looking at it. Oh, the thermal runaway. Have you done a PID tune? Well, considering I don't know what that is, I'm going to say I probably haven't done it. Just my guess. Hey, guys, look, I love y'all. Support 1776. Support Tack Knives. Support JSD. Support all the homies. You know, they're friends of the channel. You guys can still use code PWEDC. I have an affiliate link. I have a Tack Knives link. I have an affiliate link for JSD, for Goonbeam. Support Goonbeam. Goonbeam is obviously a friend of the channel. Support JM4 Tactical Holsters. Support all these guys, man. They're all friends of the channel. And if you guys are looking to support DLD After Dark, you can provide a little bit of support. Some people even send Cash App and PayPal donations, which is great. But y'all know I'm not doing this for money, but it does help. It makes things easier. It allows me to get things for content, even if. So I spent my own money on these. Like this was like my personal order. I purchased these. So just the content of me being able to go like this in front of the camera, it's worth it. It's worth the money. But there's one other thing. Fiachi is sending me a red dot that I am going to beat the ever-loving dog shit out of. It's a longer story than that, but Fiachi makes a lot of the cheap $30, $40 red dots, and they basically said, hey, your channel is too small and stupid to send anything. Even though they sought me out, they sent me an email. They said they were going to send me red dots and shit like that. And I was like, okay, you know what? Sure. Yeah, let's send them. Here's the stuff I'm interested in. Oh, no, that's way too much. We might be able to send you one at most. Well, one at most. What's less than one? But anyway, so they said, just promise me that you'll do a video on it and you'll review it and you'll promote it. I'll promote the video. That's my commitment to you. I will truly test the product. I will test the fuck out of your product. Okay, who's Ron Mexico? Because I didn't want to throw it out there and like be weird. If Ron Mexico is your real name, then I obviously don't want to, like dox you or anything like that. But let's be honest, man. There's been a handful of donations that you give me that I've not been able to honor you. So I just want to say thank you for your donation. You be sending those 1111. There you go. There's a Goonbeam link. Thank you, Ron Mexico, for your Cash App of $11.11. That's awesome. And I appreciate you guys, man. And let me get this one too. I'll get this to y'all. Again, if you guys are looking for the Halo clone, you got to get those directly from me. There is the boom. Okay, use with code DARK. You get 20% off if you use the Tack Knives. Now I'm building a website where there's going to be basically 3 different places on the website. There's going to be a spot where I can like embed videos. There's going to be a spot where I'm going to have like private videos that no one else can see. What the fuck? Sorry. So there's going to be a place that like So I'll have private videos that no one else can see on YouTube or anywhere else, but I'll embed them in like on my website, so you guys could actually go to the website to view them. And no one time out, Gert Chop. It wasn't me. Yeah, so these would be like kind of exclusive videos, right, that no one would see. I'm going to be having access to some land to where I can go out and shoot, and where you guys can actually fucking see me shoot, you know. And thank you. The Cash App is hold on. Cash App, not, or no. Mavis. All right, so that's the Cash App, and the darkest mavis at gmail.com is the PayPal. And again, guys, don't feel like you have to give anything. The reason I throw that out is because a lot of people give super chats, and I don't want you guys to give 50 to 60% of a super chat to YouTube. You may as well send it directly to the creator. So yeah. And again, y'all don't have to send a damn thing. I'm here for y'all. But if the channel's able to get some extra support, that's really helpful too. There's also some stuff going on like in my like life and stuff that yeah, I'm probably gonna sit down and actually have like a real conversation with y'all pretty soon, and just kind of let y'all know what's going on. Just because it's like, you know, yeah, you know, it's good. Everything's good. But yeah, so those are options to support the channel. Also, the what the fuck? Y'all be talking about some wild ass shit, man. Thanks, Bob. Thanks. Yeah, it's you know, just it's just life. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I care about all y'all. I love all y'all. You guys provide me with more inspiration and motivation than you'll ever know. On that though, somebody said something that really stuck with me about motivation. You know, I found myself like kind of like depressed and like, you know, almost like unable to move, and I kept looking for some type of stimulus to motivate me. And I was waiting for motivation to cause action when I forgot that it's actually action that causes motivation. So if you get into action, if you get into activity, if you start doing shit, if you start working, if you start being productive, the motivation will come with that. It's not the other way around. If you're waiting for it on the other side, if you're waiting for motivation to drive you to activity, you will continue waiting in the depths of your despair. And please don't do that. I sent $2 to see if that was you. Was it you? Let me see. We have to see. What was it? Was it to? I didn't see it yet. Oh yeah, Evan. Yep, I got it, brother. That absolutely was me. Thank you, my man. Yeah, man. Anyway, guys, as we discussed on the roast, support the community with stuff like Cash App, Super Chats are robbing you and the creators. Yeah, it's total bullshit. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it, man. YouTube is a platform, it's a business, right? But like for us, like they hate you. They hate you. They hate me. They hate for us to go out and be like, hey guys, you can print this for like $3, and then you can assemble it. You can put parts in it, and then you can put a slide on it in a magazine, and you can rack it and fire it, right? Like they don't want this. They don't like this. This is bad, bad, bad. They don't like it. So when creators like us are focused on these things and we're like, hey, we are freedom and independence absolutists, right? I don't think I could be even more clear when I say things like on my last stream and on the video on Instagram that got a little bit of attention. I was saying things like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those three things are guaranteed to you, okay? And those three things in the same document, it says, when any government becomes destructive to these ends, meaning these three things, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, when any government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and create, I know, and institute a new government. Sometimes I feel like we're not too far away from that. And that is the reason why us having tools like this, us having the ability to manufacture firearms without anyone else, without any support from any FFL or manufacturer, or if like I got the Ghost Gunner over here, which thank God for people like Cody, I'm going to be able to set it up and I'm going to be knocking out frames and shit. I'll be doing it at the new house, but you know, like it is a level of freedom and independence that I wasn't hip to prior, right? Like if I wanted a firearm, I had to go do paperwork. I had to go, you know, blah 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 blah. Y'all get it, and not to mention even if 80s were completely banned, so they're not banned, but they're changing things after the 20 whatever 4th, 5th, 7th of August or whatever. You know, once I get through all those 80s right there, then you know, I don't know how long it would take me to get through those. I already got 2 dozen 9mm Glocks. Nobody needs 2 dozen 9mm Glocks. I need to make some changes there. But I'll never resort to 40 cal. Okay. Um, but having the ability to build, print, machine, all that shit on your own, man, that shit is where it's at. Not yet, Heath. Not yet. I really would like to have him on the show. I think he's good. He's a damn good lyricist. Um, he's got super complex syllable work. He's got great delivery, good mic presence. The guy's good. And you know what? Funny enough, somebody asked me on the Ask Me Anything that I did. Somebody asked me, "Yo, Dark, like, what type of music are you into? What straight up older hip hop, 90s hip hop, early millennium hip hop. That's my shit. That's what I'm into. I fucking love it. And yeah, that's my shit." PSR did the HK slap. Dark just did the G19 spanking. That's very true. DLD After Dark. Did you get a response from a rapper? Friends, don't let friends shoot 40 cal. That's what I'm saying. Ralph took his 40 cal out and he was like, ow, this is snappy. Like it hurts. Man, it's not worth it, guys. I'm just kidding. 40 doesn't hurt. Ralph, come on. You're stronger than that. Dark, a smart guy once told me the only thing one must do is try to be a better you tomorrow than you were yesterday. The only one who can bring you down is you. Choose not to bring yourself down. Hell yeah, man. Smurfing doesn't work anyone because they reworked the formula now. See? Now you can't even smurf motherfuckers. Absolutely 100% agree, Kurt. You, just being you and helping people is great uplifting to lots of people. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the validation of that statement, Ron Wayne. And guys, there's going to be a little bit of a rocky road ahead, but and not the ice cream, although it's delicious. We're going to get through it together. So yeah, Ralph has soft hands. He may, you know, I can't tell you. Yeah, I mean, Ghetto Boys are all right. You know, it's not. I mean, of course, like classics like My Mind Playing Tricks on Me and shit like that is great. Like that's where CeeLo Green got his start. So like, you know, like it's dope. But serialize your meth. Oh my god. Oh, thanks, Ronnie. But you know, it's interesting, man, because like I said earlier, when I was looking back on me, like the first gun that I got, I went to the gun shop, I picked the gun out, I purchased the shit, and then I did paperwork for it. I waited for the paperwork, Virginia State Police, and then likely the ATF got that information. Now I'm getting ready to do a several transfers of firearms from a dealer. Now, of course, let me back up a little bit. It's important that all of us can build by ourselves. The components that they consider firearms that you would typically have to do paperwork for, learn how to build it yourself. Learn how to print it yourself. Learn how to machine it yourself. Right? Like this is just Duramic freaking PLA plus filament. Right? Like it's and I am like stupid when it comes to printing. You know, I've printed very little. Um, I will print a lot more in the future. But you know what? I'm about to print that other frame right now. I'm about to start printing. But here's the thing, though. If we learn how to print those components ourselves, then there will be no one and nothing to restrict us. They can do whatever they want to try to, you know, mess with STL files. They can do whatever they want. Trying to that shit doesn't matter. It won't stop us. There's absolutely no way to impact an open source method of developing and sharing the STL files of firearms. Like you're not going to stop it. So just give up. And of course, I also have a shitload of serialized firearms too. I have NFA firearms that are fucking registered to me, and whatever, I don't care. You know what? I'd rather have that equipment in my hands. If you know, God forbid, I need to use it. Whatever. Looking back on it, probably wouldn't have done that. If with the mindset I have now, I probably wouldn't have registered all that shit to me. You know, but whatever, right? Like, anyway, Zach Carr, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Glad you're here. Chinamemba. Um, but anyway, the whole reason for me saying this shit is that the proliferation of freedom and independence is not just about firearms. However, firearms and access to methods of the preservation of life is what will guarantee, well, not guarantee, what will increase the likelihood of you being able to latch on and hang on to that freedom and independence for as long as possible. So yeah, print guns, learn how to print, learn how to manufacture guns, like find a way to create that in your home, and you guys are solid. But I'm preaching to the choir here. All y'all know what time it is. I don't know. I think we have a lot of other things going on in the country and in the world that are going to put us in an extremely compromising position here soon, and I'm okay with it. You know, I think a lot of us know that we've been on our way there for a while. So you know, it is what it is. Never forget the slam fire. The shoddy. What you're talking about? Yeah. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to throw all that shit in. Support the people that support us, and thank you for the folks that jumped in and started throwing some Cash App donations and PayPal donations. Man, y'all are fucking great. I appreciate all y'all, and let's support each other, man. Like I said, a couple things going on that I will need to lean on some of y'all for support, man. It shit sucks, but another time I'll talk about it. Um, anyway, I'm grateful for all of you guys. I love all y'all. Yes, tactical pocket sand is not to be slept on, and y'all keep it easy. Stay greasy. Please believe me. Love y'all. Have a good night.